Somebody want to call the meeting to order, and we'll have a roll call.
Abby Bemis.
Here.
Marcus Harris.
Here.
Brendan Heil.
Here.
Paul Cook.
Here.
Alan Nichols.
Here. Oh, I think it's all here. I believe the only part of business is the family services of Erie County. Got one hell of a write-up. Yeah, I'm glad that I have the iPad so that my eyes can see that.
Great.
Okay, who wants to tell us about it?
I will, absolutely. Thank you, and thank you all for accommodating this meeting today. I'll start by sharing that Family Health Services of Erie County is the applicant for an economic development grant consideration. They applied for this grant in January of this year. After several meetings, we were able to come to some understanding as to the escalation of price and cost estimates for this building. Today, I am recommending a $300,000 grant to be funded through, if you so choose, through the economic development and destination development funding sources with your approval, and then would move on to commission on the condition that the applicant obtain all relevant approvals and permits and display a sign evidencing the City of Sandusky's support, and that the project be completed by the end of this year. Full disclosure, the project is underway. Family Health Services is a federally qualified health center with facilities in Sandusky and Norwalk. They provide comprehensive primary care, dental, and other health care services to the surrounding area. They purchased the Granary building at 149 East Water Street late last year. The Gallagher Medical Practice previously occupied the first floor, and the upper two floors were vacant. FHS is redeveloping the property to provide primary care, behavioral health, and discount pharmacy services. The renovations include a complete interior demolition, installation of a new elevator, new windows and storefront, and an interior build-out for a total renovation cost of over $3 million. They have secured financing totaling $2.6 million from Civista Bank from the project. They have also begun a capital campaign and have dollars in reserves to be able to fund this project as well. Redevelopment of this building will bring needed healthcare services into the downtown area, which, as you know, is nearby senior and low-income housing. And it is also very close to Sandusky's public transit hub. The facility will result in 18 positions on site, 9 of which are projected as new, with an estimated annual payroll of $1.7 million in the city of Sandusky. The project is catalytic. It will stimulate additional capital investment to rehabilitate vacant and underutilized properties. It also fortifies and strengthens an existing historic structure that has been underutilized for some time. The project will spur job creation, as already mentioned, and increase tax revenue. It's consistent with multiple City of Sandusky planning documents and will create ready-to-occupy commercial space, which all are preferences of this program. Financial assistance from the Economic Development Fund will assist the applicant in completing the project. Construction costs build out for first and second floor and rooftop renovations are at about $2.7 million. Construction of the third floor, which will host pharmacy services, is estimated at about $325,000. The FHS purchased the building for an amount about $451,000, as I said, late last year. Sources for the project, $2.6 million from Civista Bank. Their equity and reserves, which total about $581,000. And again, I'm requesting today your consideration of an economic development fund and destination development funding source grant of $300,000.
I would say that I have, just for the record, I have a conflict and cannot vote on this one.
And for the record, I have a conflict as well and cannot vote.
So we have two conflicts that record.
I don't have any really substantive questions, but I think it's a kind of a unique project in downtown to get this kind of necessary health services. We're close to people, close to residents, close to transit access. It's a couple blocks from a bus stop. You know, that's huge. And it's rehabbing a historic building and putting new employment in it. It's a great project. So I know it's a large grant, but I think for this type of unique, large, multi-million-dollar investment in the city, it makes sense, especially for all the community benefits that we're going to see from this type of use and this type of employment. But I don't really have any. I don't know if folks have follow-up questions for.
No.
Colleen, in terms of economic development impact, I'm struck by this being a not-for-profit. Will the building pay commercial taxes, or are they taking that offline?
You know what, that's a really good question. I do not have an answer for that.
Well,
I can see significant community development impacts and agree with the points around health access, and obviously we need a healthy population to support
it's not the-
workforce, but
I'm sorry, is not the owner,
Yeah, I don't think it qualifies for a property tax exemption the way it's set up, but I could be wrong.
okay.
because Family Health Services is not the owner.
No.
Yeah, they are,
They are the owner.
Oh, they are the owner?
of the real estate.
Oh, I didn't.
They
I'm
do
sorry.
own the real estate?
Mm-hmm.
I thought
No, they purchased
Brian
it.
did.
They purchased from him. He purchased from Gallagher. They purchased from Casper
Understood. Okay.
via LLC exchanges and things, but.
Was this the building he was going to do a bar at? Or is he still doing that?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Well, they're just like the hospital, they would be an exempt from real estate taxes. No, they wouldn't be exempt for all the employees paying city income tax.
Right.
Correct.
And it's a nonprofit, it's obviously not going to pay income tax. But
Is
we would-
this an expansion of employment?
It is. It is. It says 18 positions on site, 9 of which are projected as new. They will be hiring, in their application, they list that they anticipate hiring. The job opportunities available to those in the community will include support staff, a psychiatrist, a pharmacist, and pharmacist technicians for the build-out. Again, the third floor will be built out as pharmacy services.
Where are the jobs, where are the 9 retained jobs coming from? Are they actually in Sandusky proper?
They would either be a combination of their Sandusky positions in Norwalk, but I'm assuming they're from Sandusky.
And any connections to the hospital. Rob is now officially retired, that's on an hourly rate, so I would have no conflict there, so. Wait time to hurry up, get things done.
Well, I would move that we approve the grant as proposed for the $300,000, subject to the conditions of the grant agreement as proposed in the.
Okay, question, do we approve the grant at the committee and make the recommendation that it goes to the city commission?
Yes.
You want to put that all in one?
Sure. I would move that we recommend the approval of a $300,000 grant as proposed in the presentation and staff report.
Because then it can go to the commission. Okay.
Yes, it would be subject to city commission approval.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get all.
Sure.
I don't want Dennis yelling at me. So, any
Colleen,
other-
what was their original request?
Their original request was for, let me look here,
Close to 700, I believe.
$720,000. They asked for consideration.
Bank. He's the-
This year and next, okay. That's actually helpful for me to know, just on the record, because I have a little bit of discomfort with the grant level and the corresponding economic impact with their nonprofit structure. The net new employment, the reduced requests from that makes me a little bit more comfortable, but
I was looking at the
the
annual
need
payroll.
is harder for me here.
Their annual payroll is pretty good size. So there's going to be some income tax coming in.
Yeah, and from the average pay per employee, these are high-paying jobs. If your average is over 105, 105, 385.
I just think business model-wise, this is a very different structure than most of our applicants. And one could make the argument that as a business model, they have much different revenue sources available to them than a small business owner who's got personal equity and everything else earned and put into their project.
And then they are taking some good-sized dollars out of their pocket. And it doesn't say who is putting that in. It just says funds from,
Reserves, as well as a capital campaign that they've begun.
okay. But they're guessing at the capital campaign. Obviously, there's an exact number. It says owner's equity and owner reserves.
To date, they've raised around $120,000 in a capital campaign.
Okay, this says $581,000
Right,
of owner's equity, so.
right. They have available about $500,000 in reserves, and again, are raising so far $120,000 towards a capital campaign, which part of it, from what I understand, would also be used to pay down the second loan that they have with Savista Bank.
Don't pay it down too soon. Now, there is a conflict. I think it's a great project. At the hospital, we can't be all things to all people. And I think we're going to see some people out of Cedar Point or people that are, just transients, I'll call them, okay? Using this too. It's easier for them. Any other comments? Paul?
I have a conflict. so-
Conflicts.
Yeah.
Okay. Any comment?
Just here for good.
Just need a second on the motion.
Because
Okay.
Doing well.
So who was going to second? I'll second. Unless you want to second.
Go for it, Al.
Okay, I'll second it. Okay, want to call the roll, please?
And call abstaining as well? Okay. Paul Cook,
Abstain.
Marcus Harris,
Abstain.
Abby Bemis,
Yes.
Brendan Heil,
Yes.
Al Nichols.
Yes.
Great. Thank you very much.
Is there anything else on
What's happening in downtown?
Yeah. No, there's nothing else on the agenda. The only thing left was public participation or comments, but noting that there's no one
I
here.
don't know if Sharon was typed it in or
No.
I never know about her.
Actually, Ms. Johnson did pass along some suggestions about suggesting that FHS, Family Health Services, work very closely with Sandusky Transit, and I told her I would raise that conversation with James Stacy, our administrator.
If there's nothing else, Brooke, send it to commission.
Great, thank you.
So then they can do their job for all their big bucks.
Should a
Motion to adjourn.
A motion to adjourn?
Second.
You don't have to abstain on that one.
Yes.